I see, oh, the polar opposite is here at the very beginning. Usually you come in the last 5 minutes or so. And also, sorry, my situation here is Andrea. Thank you for joining. I know it's late for you. Well, hi everyone. So this is a little bit of a different setup. Sorry, my lighting's not great. Right now, we're in a power outage where I live. And so I tried to pick the room with the best lighting, but it made me glad that I was doing a live today because now I have something to do. It's been out for like almost a full day. So we're here today to talk about mixed episodes. I thought this was very appropriate because I'm in one. But before we just jump right in, I want to see how all of you are doing. If you have bipolar, if you're stable in an episode, just how you're doing. And if you don't have bipolar, just how you're doing. I want to know how you're doing as well. So, just to get started, I will do a short introduction. So, if you don't know me, my name is Jess Curtis. I run the R Bipolar channel here on YouTube. I've been doing it for about 5 years, but got more serious in the last couple years. So kind of like talk about all things bipolar, things that have to do with my life as a way of explaining what bipolar disorder is. And also, I love connecting with all of you who have bipolar, and we're just trying to like normalize it and lessen the stigma. And I don't want anyone to feel alone in it because I know in the first, until I went public, the first 20 years of my diagnosis, I didn't know a single person who had bipolar disorder in real life. And now I do because I'm public, but it was really lonely and it was really isolating, and I felt a lot of self-stigma and just regular old stigma because of it. So that's me. I'm also a wife, a mom. I work full time. I'm an assistant managing editor of a scientific journal. All of those things did not come along until I got more stable. So, like, the first 10 years of my diagnosis were very rough. I wasn't on the right meds. I wasn't getting good treatment from doctors, and I wasn't really taking care of myself either. And I didn't really know what I should be doing. So after those first 10 years is when I was able to get more stable. I'm definitely not stable all the time. Obviously, I'm in an episode now, but it is much better, and it's what I feel is manageable now. So that's just a little bit about me. I was trying to read here. It says I've had a few mixed episodes and depressive episodes. Yes, so I wanted to talk about mixed episodes not only because I'm in one, but because I think they are really misunderstood. And like, it's easy to say like, oh, it's a mix of mania and depression, but like that doesn't really encompass it in my mind. I think that is really minimizing what it's like. So first, yeah, and if you've been in a mixed episode, please chime in. I'm going to leave things out. I would love to hear your experiences. And just, and if you have any questions, or if you don't have bipolar, and you have maybe loved ones who have had mixed episodes, please chime in. Everyone can talk and share their experiences. So where do I start? So like I said, the first 10 years of my diagnosis, I did not do well. In those first 10 years, I had a lot of cycling, but I did not have mixed episodes at all. It was purely euphoric mania. It was full-blown mania, and it was depression. And it was just on a loop. Like, pretty much, I was almost always in one episode or another. I did have some stability here and there, but it was fleeting. And I had psychosis, but only when I wasn't on meds. So like my first episode, I had psychosis before I got on meds. And then the meds I was on in those first 10 years, like I said, they weren't helping that much, but they did keep me out of psychosis, and then I went off meds. And so, yeah, that was not a good decision. But then I did have psychosis again. Let me say, did you need hospitalization with all of your manic episodes? I needed it, but I was not hospitalized ever. The first episode was really extreme, and I have a video on that I can link in the description box later. But my dad actually talked my psychiatrist out of having me hospitalized. He's a therapist, and he was in my area. He was familiar with all the inpatient hospitalization, and he did not want me to go inpatient. And then that just became a trend, and I never was hospitalized, and I definitely should have been, at least I would say, a handful of times. So I'm just gonna keep going for a minute. So anyway, like I said, I had lots of episodes the first 10 years, did not have mixed episodes. Then at that point, it was about 2007, 2008, and that's when I got on lithium. Now, lithium can be controversial, I know. I'm not saying it will work for you. It worked for me. Like, for the most part, you know, like I said, I still have symptoms, obviously. But so I went on lithium, and ever since then, I really haven't had full-blown mania, but I have mixed episodes when I have hypomania. Almost always. I think I had a little bit of euphoric mania this time last year. Well, I think it was in April or May. But then it sort of transitioned into mixed hypomania. So I don't know if that's because of lithium. I mean, let me know if you've had experience with starting a new med and then you pretty much only had mixed episodes, or even like euphoric mania or hypomania, because I have never talked to someone who's had this experience, but I'm sure there are people out there. I don't know if it was just me, and I don't know what happened that switched it to mixed hypomania, mixed mania. But, you know, that wasn't exactly a good shift. I wasn't happy about that. I mean, I wasn't enjoying regular mania either. I'm not one of those people who's like, oh, it's fun. It's like, yeah, maybe in the very, very early stages, like feeling so confident and like high self-esteem. But then usually, for me, it would become very kind of scary and terrifying at times. But I just want to check the chat really quick, see questions. Okay. So let's talk about what is a mixed episode. Like, what kind of symptoms do we have? Please fill in. I'm going to miss things. I was going to print out like a list of the symptoms, but power outage. So thwarted my plans. But I'm just going to talk about the symptoms that I have, or at least the ones that are most prominent. So for me, when I go into mixed episodes, mixed hypomania, the overarching symptom is this irritability that is just rampant. Like, I call it irrational irritability because it's so irrational. It's over anything and everything, big things, small things, anything. Like, I did a video last week about, you know, my mixed hypomania, and I was saying, like, I was opening a box of coffee pods, and like I tore the box right when I opened it, and I wanted to go into a rage. Like, I was so mad at myself. Like, I was able to like keep it together, calm down, but I just wanted to like throw something. I wanted to like punch the wall. I was so mad. I was like, how could I do this? Like, how could I rip this box? It is not that big of a deal. Like, on a normal basis, I would not even care. I wouldn't even think about it, really. But anyway, so that's, for me, these mixed symptoms. And I know a lot of people in mixed episodes, they feel more of the depression, along with like the high energy of the hypomania or mania, but they feel, sadness, down. I don't usually feel like that. I usually just feel like angry, irritable, rage, um, that kind of thing. Like annoyance at everything. And I'm very annoying to the people around me because I'm not letting anything go. I'm trying to. I'm trying very hard to, but it's so hard. Like I don't know if any of you were in the live with my husband Brian, and he was saying like, "Oh, you're pretty easy when you're in episodes." I think he would take that back as of the last couple weeks because I was so overwhelmed, which is kind of why I went to the episode. I was super overwhelmed with so many things, so I was like delegating and giving him things to do. Like there's lots of things coming up. So I was telling him things and then he wasn't doing them, or he wasn't doing them as quickly as I wanted him to. And I'm like, "Well, have you done this? Have you called the bowling alley? Have you, like, for our daughter's birthday party, have you ordered the cake? Have you done all these things?" And he's like, "No." I'm like, "Well, why are you taking things off my list if you're not going to lessen the stress, right?" Like, this is more stressful. You're not necessarily helping me. But anyway, some other symptoms. Trying to see. So some other symptoms I've been having, definitely racing thoughts, definitely decreased need for sleep, or and getting much less sleep. And like I can go to sleep fine, I think because I take my meds at night and I think they help with that. But then I would wake up really early, like at, 3 in the morning or 4 in the morning, and not be able to go back to sleep. So that's what really like pushed me into hypomania. And I take Seroquel, which, if you don't know, it's an antipsychotic. It does help with sleep, and I take a small dose every day. So as soon as I was having trouble sleeping, my doctor allows me to increase it slightly. So I did that. But what I increased it to that normally helps get the sleep going wasn't working. So I still went into hypomania, and then I had to increase the Seroquel more, and now I am sleeping normally, but I'm on like a much higher dose. So I'm eating everything. Like I cannot, like Seroquel, induces hunger, increases your appetite. And it's like I can get through the day and I'm like, "Oh, I'm doing okay." Like I'm not like, eating everything in the kitchen. And then right before bed, it's like I'm ravenous. Like I'm just like, so it's like you're dealing with the symptoms of the hypomania, right? You're dealing with like feeling jittery and, I don't know about you, but I like want to talk on the phone all the time and like, text everyone I know. And I also have really been wanting to shop and like buy things. And I have bought a little bit, but I've like kind of held it in check somewhat. And then also, like, my house was driving me crazy, like how messy it was, but I didn't want to like go into like a flurry of cleaning and like rev myself up more and get like further into hypomania. So these mixed states for me, it's like the possibly enjoyable parts of mania are gone. Like, see ya. That's not gonna happen. And it's replaced with irritability, frustration, sadness at times. I have had some sadness, but it's mostly for me like the irritability and the rage. And then I just have like a lack of concentration and focus. So I'm still trying to work, and I'm just like, it's like I click on something and like, "Oh, I need to do this," click, and then I'm like, "Why am I here?" No idea. Completely lost. So it's really hard to concentrate, and I've been using like the Pomodoro technique, which is like you work straight for, or do whatever you need to be doing straight for 25 minutes, and then you take a 5-minute break. 25 minutes. That's a long time. That's hard. So I don't always make it. But I have stayed at work. I did take Friday off and I have Monday off, and that was already set because I was supposed to go to a memorial service down in Virginia, and I live in Pittsburgh, so it's like a 5-hour drive. And because of the hypomania, like I couldn't go. My doctor thought I shouldn't go, and it's my husband Brian's cousin who passed away, and I feel really bad about missing the memorial. Like, I just feel like it's not right of me to not go. But at the same time, I know I have to get stable and like feel better and all that. So, there's a lot of things that a lot of these like tough decisions we have to make for our health with bipolar that I think a lot of people don't realize and people don't always understand. Like, I don't know what people are thinking about me not being at this service. I want to be there. I just know that I shouldn't be traveling. I mean, if it was a service in my town, I would definitely go. Like, no question. But this is a decent trip. So gonna miss that, and I'm feeling bad for like how I've been treating my husband. While at the same time, I'm like, he should be doing it. He should be doing what I ask. Like, so I don't know. It could be unfair. Let me look at the chat here a little bit. Someone said, is hypomania kind of like feeling drunk when it's a happy drunk? Like the oversharing and feeling high? It would be like when you're drunk if you were like on speed or something. Like and if you're having regular hypomania, not the mixed kind, and you're feeling really euphoric and happy and confident and like less inhibitions like from drinking. I could see that, but also there's this frenetic energy behind it. So when you're drunk, like, alcohol's a depressant. So I don't think it's exactly, I think it's more like, I don't even want to say it's like doing cocaine. It's not like that exactly, but it's more like an upper, I would say, where, you're jittery, you have trouble sitting still, your mind is all over the place, you have racing thoughts, you might have like a flight of ideas, you might be thinking, oh my God, I have all these great ideas for like a new business or like a project I should work on, or and some of them might be good ideas, but a lot of times it's just like garbage, honestly, or in my experience. Sometimes I can like pluck out a couple good ideas, but and you might be feeling more creative. You might be feeling like, oh, I could write a book, or I should be painting, or I should be like, and I'm a wonderful, all of a sudden, like, I'm the best painter in the world, and like things like that. So I could see some aspects of it. There is that out of control feeling at times. I know some people feel very in control, but I always feel kind of out of control. And I have that same feeling when I'm drinking alcohol, if it gets too far. So I could see that. I mean, maybe that's one reason like I stopped drinking a few years ago, because I feel out of control enough in episodes, like depression or mania mixed episodes. And I just don't want to I don't want that to be self-induced, Let's see. Yeah, Andrea said it doesn't feel like being happy drunk at all. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You'd have to like add some other stuff, I think, to but again, I don't think you can really replicate it. Talking about oversharing. Oh my gosh. I've been so trying not to overshare during this episode. And I know I have, and Andrea, you're probably one of the people I've been like oversharing to, but at least, we're like good friends. So it's, isn't, I probably overshare anyway sometimes. But I know like I had to hold myself back from doing too many Instagram stories and like talking about what was going on. Cause I was just like, no, this is not helpful to anyone. Like, it's just me, like, it's just like word vomit, and it's not even necessarily going to make sense or be useful to anyone. So let's see. Sorry, this is a lot harder to read. I think I need to turn up my brightness really quick. Maybe that'll help. Yeah, that's better. Oh my. Saying, isn't boring and depressed harder though? I don't know. Do you guys find depression boring? I don't know if boring is the word I just feel nothing when I'm depressed. Like the absence of emotion most of the time. Once in a while, I'll feel like a lot of sadness and really feeling down, but usually it's just like barren wasteland of nothing. So it doesn't feel boring to me, but I could see how it could feel that way maybe to other people. And we're not going to go as long today because I have to be aware of my phone battery. But, the power is supposed to come back on in a few hours, but at the same time, I don't want to be like without a phone and I'm home alone. And yeah, that's not a great idea. All right, so that I feel blunted and numb as if everything has lost its color. Yes, exactly. That's how I feel as well. Yeah, it's like usually I can't have any emotion, like even sadness. It's just like nothing is there. It's like it's been stripped away for me. But how about, do any of you in mixed episodes, do you feel a lot of the depressive symptoms? Or are you more like me where you feel like the irritability and anger? Because I know I was talking about this with someone on Facebook last week, and she was saying how there's like a lot of crying when she has mixed episode, mixed mania, hypomania. And I was like, oh, I don't think I ever cry. But I could see that. I mean, that makes sense. I just, yeah, so let me know. I'm just curious about that because and then what I wanted to say too is I don't think I've experienced this, but some people, a mixed episode can be these manic and depressive episode, or I'm sorry, symptoms at the same time, but they can also be like in quick succession. So you could be feeling like manic symptoms followed very, very quickly by depressive symptoms. And that can also be considered a mixed episode, which I didn't really know that. And I mean, I guess I have sort of felt that, like the times when I feel more depressed within the mixed episode, but it didn't really occur to me. Like, I thought those would be considered like distinct manic episodes and then depressive episodes. So, but let me know if you've experienced that because I mean, maybe a little bit, but I really haven't. Jeff Sanders saying, had a nightmare low, lasted about a week, only got up out of bed to walk the dog. Mixed episodes usually go up and down quickly. Okay. Oh, and Andrea says she has experienced that kind of cycling that I mentioned. Polar opposite says depression usually shows up as frustration or even anger in guys a lot of times. I know for me, I have a lot of anger that goes away after I wake up a little bit. My medicine kicks in. Okay. Yeah, see, in depression, I don't have the frustration and anger. I only have it in mixed episodes. I don't know. I don't know what that's about, but I know like I know when I start getting really annoyed with everything and there's like no logical reason, I'm like, "Oh no, like what's going on?" Like yes, I can be annoyed by things in everyday life. Like that's normal, but not to the extent to which it happens in a mixed episode. And then there's also like the not sleeping and, everything else that can be going on. Someone is suppressed. Eduardo Garcia said, "How often do you get episodes while taking meds? Aren't the meds supposed to prevent the episodes?" That's a great question. And we hear that all the time, right? Like, if you have bipolar, just take your meds and then you're fine. You shouldn't be having episodes. Yeah, that's not how it works for, I would say, 99% of us. The meds do cut down on the episodes and usually the severity of the episodes and, how many episodes you have. But I know for me and for most people I know, you're still gonna have some episodes. Like I went from the first 10 years being on meds that did not do anything at all. That's the other thing. You have to find meds that actually work for you. And now I've tried every mood stabilizer except for one, and only one of them worked. So in the first 10 years, we were trying things, wasn't working. I was having tons of episodes. Now that I'm on meds that for me like work, I have about one episode a year. And I don't have full blown mania or psychosis anymore, but I do have mostly the mixed hypomania. That's what I go toward the most. And then I'll have depression once in a while, but usually at least once a year for the hypomania. So yeah, they do help, but they're not like a magic bullet, magic cure. I know there are some people that have had stability for 5, 10, 15 years. That's possible. I think if that happens for you, you're pretty lucky, and it's something with the way your body is able to process that medication. And I know like other people, we're doing really everything we can to not have episodes when it comes to our lifestyle, taking meds, all those things. And we still have them sometimes, mostly due to stress, things that happen in our lives that we can't control. Yeah, we still have episodes. Oh, and if you're on here, I'm gonna go a little bit longer, but if you could please hit the like button on the live, and if you haven't subscribed yet to my channel, please do so. And yeah, I'd love to talk to all of you more. What's funny is like after I got on meds that worked, the duration of my episodes lengthened. So I used to have short episodes that could be a week or less for each one, mania or depression. And then when I got on the lithium and the Seroquel, my episodes lengthened. Usually the hypomania is like a month, sometimes a little less, sometimes more. Depression could be a few months, it could be less, but for me, it's like they're longer episodes, but they're less intense. They don't get as severe, but they are longer, which kind of sucks. Let's see. So yeah, I do think I'm doing better now. Like I'm still having some symptoms with the mixed episode, but it's it's definitely less severe at this point. I'm sleeping better. Oh, Keith, hey, he asked, or sorry, K. Beeblebrox, did the daylight savings change have any impact? Well, what's funny is usually daylight, like in the US, we just did the time change, and daylight savings time, and we spring forward to go an hour ahead. And a lot of times that messes me up and like puts me into hypomania, but this time I was already in it, which like never has happened before. And I think because I was already waking up early every day, like I was able to go to sleep earlier, but I was still waking up early. It was like catching up with sleep a little bit that way. But I think the time change actually like helped me, or it helped me like get back onto a regular sleeping pattern because I was already waking up earlier, and now it's like, well, now that's the time I'm supposed to be getting up. So I don't think it affected me at all this time. But then again, I was in hypomania, so like that's not a good time. So I yeah. Someone's talking about Ted Viola said, once I get an episode, I just talking about cannabis. Uh, hey, if that works for you, more power to you. I know that for me, marijuana has brought on mania and psychosis before, so like I stay away. But not everyone has that kind of reaction. I did a video about that, like just talking about different people. Some people say it helps them, some people say it really doesn't help them. More like my experience, some people say they get extremely paranoid. So know yourself. Know if it helps you, know if it doesn't. I definitely stay away. I mean, are you at all worried about, Ted, are you at all worried about like something being in the cannabis, like laced, like other, or are you like, do you have a reliable source that is trusted, I guess? I would just be curious to know. But yeah, I totally stay away. Um, it is not for me. But if it's for you, I think, do what's right for you. Just gonna see if I had any other questions. Don Woodland said, I was hypo and functioning, then wham, everyone brought me down. And the crash, I lost everything, job and all. Toxic frenemies gone. Money, health, finances like a tornado. Wow. Yeah, that sounds really, really rough. That's the other thing. So, when we have hypomania, whether it's mixed or not, there can be a huge crash afterward, like you can crash into depression. I find if I can keep the hypomania from getting too severe, like if I'm still able to work and if I'm still kind of like functioning, but not at the level I would want to be, like, but if I'm finding that I can still force myself to focus and concentrate and things like that, I can usually avoid the depression after. I mean, not always, but yeah, it's always a huge risk. And that's why people who don't have mixed episodes, who have like the euphoric hypomania, sometimes they tell me, like, oh, I enjoy it so much. I get so much done. I do well at work. You know, am able to get so much done around the house. But then it's like, yeah, but what might be coming next? Like if you're feeding into this, if you're not like resting and trying to sleep and get back to stable, I feel like there's a bigger risk for a depression. I mean, that could just be me though, and the way my body reacts. I mean, tell me, are you ever able to sort of control if you're going to crash into the depression or not? Is it just gonna happen? Probably. Let's see. Molly hey Molly. She said, my sister is actually a functioning bipolar. She never gets bad enough to get help, but she gets extreme highs and buys stuff like crazy. Has tons of energy at the age of 65. Well, I mean, good for her for like being functioning. I mean, yeah, it's hard if she's still, I hope she's not having too many episodes because that sounds like that could, still take a toll, especially like the shopping and like the kind of, if it's kind of out of control. I've never been the one who like went out and bought big ticket items. Like when I was, I mean, also like I have my husband who like would be like, I'd be like afraid that he was going to find out and all that kind of thing. But I guess if you get to a certain point, you're not even thinking that way. You're thinking like, I'm doing whatever I want. This is the right choice. But I've never like spent a whole bunch of money or like bought a car or bought like something really expensive. But I have definitely like, oh, it's time for me like to finally buy more clothes for myself or to like buy something for the house or whatever. But I do try to sit on it, you know, like because if I'm still in hypomania, like I'm still like somewhat I still have somewhat control over these things. So even though I'm looking at it and wanting it, then I won't necessarily buy it right then. I can like sit on the decision, sleep on it, talk to Brian about it, whatever. Amalian said she has 6 houses. She has 6 houses? Wow. But yeah. Oh, and Andrew said it's very similar to you when it comes to the impulsivity. My husband is also a good check. Yeah. Yeah. It's like sometimes like having those people who can check you, like I think it's good. I think it's a good thing overall, but it also you're like, I just want to do what I want to do, you know? like what? Like in that video that I put out last week, at one point I was talking about shopping and then like I was like talking about, well, like there are a lot of things that I need and like I was like totally like justifying me buying more stuff. But I was like, but it is kind of true. Like I think I typically go the other way where like I'm afraid to kind of shop or like buy things for myself because I'm like, oh, is this like this is something I do when I'm hypomanic. So like it feels wrong, like I shouldn't be doing it. So it ends up that I'm like wearing clothes from high school, like all like it doesn't, I do need some things, but right now is not the time I should be buying them. Okay, this I can't say your name. Driz Migkiba. I only returned to the meds just because I buy everything I saw and wanted to run away from my problems. Well, I'm glad you're back on meds. I do think that people always come to me and say, like, can I do this without meds? Like, can I have bipolar and not take meds? And first of all, I'm like, well, I'm not a doctor, so like, you should talk to a psychiatrist about this. But also, like, from my experience, just life experience, I know like one person probably who is able to do it without meds. And this person is like very strict with how they handle their life. They also don't have a lot of stress in their life. They don't have kids. They're not married. I mean, that does bring on more stress, especially if you have a child. So can you do it? I mean, technically, yes, maybe, but is it a good idea? Probably not. That's just my opinion from seeing probably like hundreds of people who have bipolar who I've met over the last, 6 years, 7 years. Like, are you gonna be one of those people? Odds are no. I'm not one of those people. Like, I tried it. I definitely tried it for about a year and did not end well. So I do think meds are usually the way to go. I do think all meds have side effects. Yes, it sucks that we have to take meds. No one wants to be on meds their whole life. I get it. I didn't want to be either, but I also want to be able to live my life fairly well and not have many of these episodes, like I'm in now. All right. Well, I'm going to wrap this up pretty soon, but are there any other questions? And if you put in a question earlier that I missed, please like copy and paste it back in. Let me see. Okay, I went back. This person, this Driz Makaba, I'm working blue collar jobs since 17. I'm 24, still a student because of bipolar. Lately, my sister lost her job. She's working with me. Feels so strange being more competent. Well, that's great that you're feeling more competent. And whatever job you're doing, I mean, like, my God, you're keeping a job. Like, it's an accomplishment. I mean, sometimes I'm like, how am I doing this? Like it is, I mean, I have a job that is like very conducive to my bipolar. Like I get a lot of time off and I work from home, and I know not everyone, is able to do that. But, if you're working and if you're not working, that's probably the right thing for you. I have a lot of friends who have bipolar and they're either working like part-time or they can't work at all. And these are people that I fully agree that they should not be working. They should be focusing on their health and their stability. And, not everyone with bipolar can work. Like, that's a fact. That is the way it is. But I mean, everyone is, what's the right way to say this? See, I also get, like, I have trouble with word recall because of lithium. Thanks, lithium. I just think like everyone has something to offer to this world. It may not be working a paid job, you know? And I do think that's true. All right, well, I think I'm gonna wrap this up. I still have some battery on my phone, so I didn't use it all up. And again, if you haven't liked the live yet, please do that. And also, please subscribe to my channel. And if you're watching the replay, please like and comment. I'll get back to your comments as well. And it's been fun doing this. I'm glad that I was able to like talk to you guys. I'm just like all alone here with this power outage. Thanks, Keith. Yeah, I'll I don't know why it's taking them so long. They said midnight and then they were like, no, 6 p.m. the next day. So I'm like, oh, great. But, I was able to like pretty much keep my cool when I found out about the power outage. So I was like, this is a good sign that I'm getting better. This is a good sign that the mixed hypomania is lessening. And I slept in the last 2 days, like all this stuff. So yeah, bye everyone. I'll see you soon. I tend to do these like every 2 weeks. So I'll see you in a couple weeks. Bye.